Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypt Monkey Paints, where we are painting gigantic. Mighty kiss. So this is the Mindflayer dragon, and I keep going back and forth because we have a Mindflayer and a Mind Thief. So Ty keeps saying Mind Thief, and it gets me all kerfuffled. So Mindflayer dragon, what we are painting tonight. Not like to stand on his base, so my hands are currently holding him down. So, that being said, we are going to get his base finished tonight. That way, the rest of the time I'm painting him, he can be glued onto his base and not fall over the 15 million times and break his little fingers over and over. One finger keeps snapping off and it's starting to piss me off. Comes off again. Not going back on. But we have had a whole bunch of issues. I have had a whole bunch of issues getting this guy assembled. His wings. Oh, and you can see new camera angle because he is so freaking big. And this is full size. I wanted to get him full size. His wings are massive, massive, massive. And if you look down in here, looks like all kind of kerfuffled, wonderful, massive bleh. Because what you should do is glue your item together, gap fill your item with proper gap filling attire, gear, whatever you want to call it, and then sand said stuff to make it fluid with the model. Didn't do any of that. I glued and then gap filled with the glue, figuring, oh, I'll sand it and fix it before. Then got all excited about getting it base coated, then base coated it and realized, whoops. So it was a nasty mess. So we decided what we're going to do is in certain areas add clay that is going to look like infested areas where things are coming out. So we're going to make the gross parts grosser. So one, it's going to look a little bit more like it's supposed to be that way. And two, it's going to be so gross you're not going to want to look closely at it anyway. So it's fine.
Rockfan says, Dragon, yeah, he's a big boy.
Big, giant beast. Like that's his wingspan right there. You can't even get that on camera. And then here is the beastie. So I'm going to let go of him for a second. Dave. So basically, he's got pegs that put him into his base, but it's a loose fit, which I like because that means I don't have to fight him into his base and break his legs trying to get him in there. But it also means he wibble wobbles, and he is really well balanced, but because you can see I'm hands free here, but it doesn't take much for him to set off one way or the other. So that is why I want to get this guy completely done. Then we will work on him. And you can see more of the nasty. So basically, when I realized how gross it looked, I started purposely adding more and even adding drips down here at the bottom because that's the bug infested area we're going to. You can see that's actually his mouth, right? No eyeballs. But so I base coated him in gray, brown and gray, and then added some red. It looks like up here is a brighter red. Oh shit, that was quick.
Warning for you. Someone has altered the stream.
That was a quick one,
Yeah.
Ghosty. So what are we
Hello,
painting
Ghosty.
next week? All right.
Some cool ones on there.
Yeah. Gregory, gotcha. I kind of was hoping for that one, to be honest. It is the giant toad is what we will be painting next week. By Lord of the Print.
All right.
He's not. So Ghosty has the same model, and he named his Gregory. So that's why I know what
I was
Gregory
like,
means.
Going through my memory banks. I had no
sorry.
idea.
I know that like the light is catching it and making this look kind of like bright orange, but this red is all the same flat brick red. It's just catching light, which is cool. All right. Okay, so since I'm going for a whole like infested thing on his wings, his rocky base is now going to have puddles and stuff like that around. So that's where we're going to start, guys. And hopefully this new camera angle is going to work really well for us. So we are off to the dry brushing races, guys. Do we have it on autofocus?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Storm Vermin Fur. What we're going with.
Rockfan says mind flares are the definition of nasty.
Yes. So I might as well make it nasty, nasty. Open. So. Oh, I hate these bottles. I really do. I'm just going to play around with some colors on this guy. To kind of give a couple of different tones, different areas, different light sort of thing. And then I'm going to start playing with the water aspect of it once I've got all of dry colors. Once I've got all the rest of the base kind of where I like it. Which, honestly, the base coat was kind of fun and it worked really, really well. So there's not a whole lot more I feel like I need to do. It's more about what I want to do.
Hey, what?
This paint pod. I like this color, but it's a pain in the butt.
Ghosty says probably one of my favorite models, so I was so excited when I saw him. That looks awesome, by the way, Dawn.
It's Ghosty, honestly, I'm like a huge frog fan. So I was pretty excited when we got him. So I've kind of been wanting to add him to the list for a while now, and now that I remembered to do the list is the biggest thing. And thank you. I know, like always, I'm going every which direction and every which angle, and it's just, you absolutely do not have to do this of constantly switching areas. It's just my habit. It's how I paint.
Okay, I'm going to share that on stream so everybody can see in case they
Yes.
haven't. So this is what Dawn will be painting next Tuesday.
Week. Gosh. And he is so flippin' cute. He is definitely one that he will be a lot of fun to paint. And he's got, if I remember right, he's got like a whole bunch of bubbles on his back. So that's going to be fun to highlight all of those as well.
That's going to be fun.
I feel like I need to sneeze. Nope, I guess not. What has everyone been up to all this week? Big long week that we've endured already.
But I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad week, but it's like, this is only Tuesday?
Yeah, I keep thinking it's like Thursday already. Oops. It's like tickling like I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh, you're still gonna do that, huh?
It's driving me crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's loud. Ghosty says I'm going to be starting mine soon, so I'm pretty excited to see how our color schemes compare. Yeah, that one dead. Yeah, I'm gonna see if it mixes. Let's see if I can get it back to life. I want to say that I'm gonna go very, green, dark green with some orange and yellow, but the colors that I have on this guy right now is absolutely not what I thought I was gonna do. It's all about what I'm feeling in the moment, so we'll see where we end up. Excuse me. Guy's over here playing with the computer. No, it's just like I keep looking up every now and again, and every time I look over, there's a whole new screen that he's working on. So he is like, work, 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 work. So the gray just kind of darkens at a few areas, and then I'm using the tan to kind of brighten up a few areas, and just makes it fun. See, it makes it almost look like, the sand's kind of half covering that rock, and the rock is starting to kind of show back through the sandy area.
You didn't read this one earlier.
No.
Ghosty says, I'm basing mine off a horned frog, so lots of reds and oranges, I think. Sounds cool.
Yeah. I think I probably will stay away from those colors just because I'm in the middle of painting a commission from the Deadly Sins set from Epic Miniatures, and basically everything is red and orange and fire, so I'll probably want to take a break from those colors, or I'll run out of those colors before I get to the toad.
Rockfan says, trust the vibes. They will either make something great or a beautiful mess. Fun either way.
Exactly, yeah. There's been enough times in my life where I'm like, okay, I'm going to paint this color, and then I fight and fight and fight and fight to get that paint to work the way I want it to, because I wasn't really feeling it. And then it's not fun, and it's just, if it's not fun, why am I doing it? I'm sitting here fiddling with this. Kind of digging the way it looks. Now, like this big weird gap thing, that's where, because the base is in half. This part is supposed to overlap onto this part, which it works really well to kind of hide that seam, except then it just kind of makes a different line. Weird.
Yeah, it does look more natural, I think, though. I think it looks like...
It does. Slate, kind of.
Yeah, like slate, yeah.
So that, like, with that in mind, that just made me think, what I really want on there is a little bit of really kind of make that slate look happen. Not going to rush my brush at all through any of this. Your Tootsie's in my way. Your Tootsie. Oh, you can actually see what I'm doing over here now. That's cool. Like, you can see my palette and my mess over here, which normally you can't really see because the camera's... I guess you guys can see now, like, the camera is normally, like, right here. Like, right in that area. I don't know if anybody caught Ty streaming the other day, but he was doing it on his phone, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of getting ready to at least know what to expect whenever I want to do this on my phone when we're at conventions and things like that.
Which is the most exciting part to me, because that means we'll literally be able to be at a convention and still like kind of bring you guys with us. I think that'll be so much fun.
It'll be more of a just chatting kind of thing than it will be a painting thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do actually paint behind the booth, but it's not any kind of setup where it's not a setup that we can be able to stream what I'm painting or anything. Usually, even when I'm painting behind the booth, I kind of have like this, imagine kind of like this much space on the table where I've got this one little thing and I'm painting this one little item and my paint's over here and this is over here. And I usually have like a little jar of water, and I've even, where are they? I know I have like little pill bottles that I kind of use. So I'll use these as holders for little ones. I've even opened these up and put some of my drinking water in here to use as my water for washing my brushes due to limited space. So yeah, you get creative. And then we have a friend who's brilliant and just brought along a TV tray. Max, remember at CantCon last year?
Yeah.
They brought a TV tray and set that up. And I'm like,
Max Universe whenever they're on here.
yeah. And I feel like an idiot because that's freaking brilliant. And then they brought one for me as well, and it was amazing. Unfortunately, they were in one booth and I was in one booth, and the booths were right next to each other, but Ty was sitting at the end of our booth here, and Jake was sitting at the end of his booth here. And then Max was there and I was there. So me and Max were like as far apart as we possibly could have been. Every now and again we look over and like, so.
Oh, got the yawns.
No, good sir.
Been like that.
Well, you know what doesn't help that? Totally gonna rat you out right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Staying up all night long. So yeah,
Sounds like a problem.
Ty did not actually sleep Monday night. I woke up Tuesday morning. Wait, no, that's not right. Sunday night. I woke up Monday morning and Ty's all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, walking around and getting this done and getting that done, and I'm kind of looking at him, and Cora's like, yeah, he didn't go to bed. I'm like,
I don't know about bright-eyed, but I was still awake.
You were very active.
I had to, or I was going to fall asleep in the chair.
Ty and I are not super quick movers in the morning. So when he's that active that early, I know he's just been up that long.
Oh, now I want to sneeze.
Not so fun, is it?
I don't know when it's you.
Okay, yes. I am very happy with the little white touch.
Ghosty says, I just got some 1/35th scale Navy SEALs today, which I'm a ton of excited for. I've never worked on this scale, and I think it'll make it a lot more fun to paint camo and details. Rockfan says coffee is lifeblood. Yes.
And I would love coffee right now, but Ty sucks at making coffee.
Oh, I'm very good at making for you. Okay.
Shit.
Rack. Hello, Regina.
Hi again, Regina. I think that's payback for me getting them earlier.
Oh, before the stream started.
Yeah. So, okay, in my defense, I always get on with my phone, and then I use that to test sounds to make sure that everything's kind of up and where it needs to be before we get started. I didn't realize anybody was actually on yet.
Anyway, I've got some more lack of sleep coming because I've still been messed over trying to get normal things done as well as making up from the con. So we've got like 2 more days this month, and I've got 2 more pieces of content we're going to get out for you guys. Sorry it's taken so long.
Not to mention, we also
Or
have
the subscribers is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Not to mention, we have another con coming very, very soon. Basically, I'm putting this jungle mist where I'm going to put water.
Like the end of next month, though.
It's the end of next month, but...
I had a moment of dread. I'm like, I love cons, but I'm so tired right now.
But our son is also coming next month, so what we're trying to do is get out ahead of work and also getting ready for the con so that when he's here, we can maybe take a couple of half-day sort of things. Chill out and hang out.
Regina says, I'm back, left to talk to my bro and missed the first half hour. Did I miss anything exciting?
No. Not really.
you talked about the gap fill issues and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't exciting. That was annoying and disappointing and stupid-headed.
Rockfan says, you can't rush art. Take your time.
Say something.
Yeah, I probably interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No.
You're good at that today.
So the gap filling issues, basically, I made loads of mistakes because I wasn't patient, didn't do what I was supposed to do in the order I was supposed to do it. So I had some crappy areas up here. So basically, I made it as crappy as I could and made it even worse in areas like down like here. And my intention is to make it to where he's got like, kind of like imagine a hornet's nest kind of put up on him and with clay, and then it'll have holes with goo coming out. So basically, I made the rough areas look really rough so that it looks like it's on purpose. And we'll see how it turns out, shall we? That's it. That's all you missed. This is Heather Blue.
Ghosty asks, have you tried resin to fill gaps instead of green stuff?
So, I didn't use green stuff on this. I just used super glue. Just, like I said, I made a whole rush of mistakes. Rush being the key word. My intention was to... This one's like all clogged. My intention was to take the glue, get it glued on, then use this compound that I have that I really like. That is not it. Use a compound, two-part compound like green stuff, but it's not green stuff. I really like how it works. It's a little less sticky than green stuff, and for me, it works a little bit better on larger areas, which this has. I'm going to take that Heather Blue and go in the deeper water section is all that's for. But I prefer to use that stuff, but I didn't use that stuff. What I did was used my glue, and then I was going to sand it before I put the paint on it. And I didn't do that either. I just coated it because I was excited. So basically I did all the steps wrong and in the wrong order. And so, I'm going to make it work.
Rockfan says super glue is fickle.
Yeah.
That's a nice name for it.
It can be a really good gap filler for smaller areas. Not the best plan to use it for big, giant gaps like this one had. Not exactly sure what went wrong there, but the area where his wings touch his body, there was about a 2-inch, or not 2-inch, about an inch gap. 2-inch because it seems huge, but for a miniature that, even a half an inch is a huge gap. So I'm not really sure why it was so large, but it was insanely large.
Golden Ghosty says, I don't know how you used the wrong formula and got the right answer.
Luckily, I great support system and a lot of other creative people in the house. because I was looking at it going, I really don't know what to do. And our youngest, came up with the infested idea. So I think that's going to look amazing. And it's going to make me happy. It's going to be disgusting, and that's fine.
Rockman says, I blame the printer. Those machines are evil. Maybe, actually. But the first time when I read that I blame the printer, I thought you meant, well, us. We're the printer, right?
I'm the printer.
Which, I mean, is still reasonable this time, I think. That happens.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was a little disappointed, and it's true, I may have just had a bad print and not been able to really identify that until I fully assembled. I know you guys saw the pictures in Discord. This thing comes in a million different pieces. So it's kind of hard to tell things are going to line up perfectly or not. I'm looking for... Go with my stuff here. It's a little hard to tell for sure if things are going to work or not work until you've got them fully assembled, and this was not a perfect sure, but that doesn't mean we can't make it work. Designers, make it work. Sorry, I had to.
Ghosty says, holy moly, the seals have all their pouches and accessories separate, so I need to completely build these guys' kits, and all the extra pieces are so tiny. This is going to be a pain. I need a magnifying glass. Yeah, 1/32nd, and it's in pieces. Or 1/35th, I'm sorry. Man, that is small.
I have painted camo on one thing, although technically I had an army of them, so I did it on 12 pieces. And luckily they were almost completely assembled. But they were, I had the...
Were they 26 millimeter?
No, they were...
I don't mean actually.
Were
they in that scale, the standard tabletop scale?
I think they were in 32 scale.
Oh. Man, those things are big then. I saw that coming.
Hi, Tech
Hello,
Priest.
Tech Priest.
So they were mechs that were painted in camo, and it was fun. It was awesome. I'm glad it's over because I had I think it was 5 color camo.
Ghosty says, I sent a picture in Discord. The extra parts are so tiny, and I need to attach all of them.
Still have screen share up. You could do that too.
That was not screen share.
Oh.
Or I should say that was the right screen, but that I don't have that set up.
It's okay.
Discord.
Right, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. I have no mechs.
I'm there. I'm trying to. It's like my Discord's not updating.
This is not helping me have confidence in attaching the wings to my forest dragon. Okay, to be fair, I did the same forest dragon. The wings bend a little bit, so just be prepared to put your glue on one side, get it to adhere, and get that in the right position, and then hold it. So make sure that it's steady on your table so that you can maneuver the wing with both hands if necessary, and you don't have to hold the dragon. I put, you know how the wings for your dragon go in like 2 pieces and then it goes on to the dragon? I did those 2 pieces and then put that on the dragon. That was way easier for me.
Rock fan on YouTube, talking to Ghosty over here on Twitch. Maybe Ghost can get some jewelry magnifying glasses with a headlight to help.
I have a set.
Or a watch repair kit.
I do have the set that sits around my head like this and then has the magnifying glasses that go up and down. I do have those.
Tech Priest says it took quite a while to actually do the sound.
Yeah, I noticed him say that.
To do what sound?
His noise, and then
Oh.
Regina said that. Oh wait, sorry. The sounds are quite delayed tonight in general. It seems like even us talking is like really delayed because it.
Don't do that.
Ass.
Yeah, it might. I mean that it might be our internet actually, because when I look at YouTube, it's very pixelated for us.
Is it really?
So it might be our download speeds slowing it for upload. I don't know. Because that has to come to us and then back out to, of course. Ghosty says, I mean, the detail in these guys is incredible, but I have 6 of them and each one is going to take forever. I actually have a pair of those. It's got a little headlamp and folding glasses. It's awesome. Regina says, I'm not even going to try to match the tail bits of the wings. I'm afraid they will snap. On the forest dragon? I'm trying to remember what that looks like.
So we have 2 different forest dragons. We have the one with all the leaves, and then we have the other one where the wings go together and then they go on. Just like the one that I painted for Sawdust Dragon.
Okay.
That's the one that the Regina has.
I see. Rockfan says the stream has been glitch here on YouTube, but I thought it was me. Not the talking, just the sounds are delayed. Oh.
Well, as long as it's okay.
Sorry, Regina said not the talking, just the sounds are delayed. Yeah, Dawn was being goofy. Of course, we're in sync. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's us, maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's both.
This stuff, I'm just dripping it into the little caverns where I want. No, behave. I'm okay if it pools, but I don't want it running off. It's pooling. It actually dries fairly quickly. Like it kind of sets up pretty quickly. Oh, and I'm going to get back to that question that Ghosty asked. No, I technically have not used resin to gap fill. I have used resin to repair. So like sometimes I'll have a break while I'm cleaning a part, and I can just dab a little bit of resin and put the part back together and then cure it in the curing machine, and just like it never broke. As far as gap filling, I've seen people do it. Something like this, the gaps were way too big. And if I actually used the resin to glue rather than super glue, it would be an even better connection. Like it would be one solid piece. It wouldn't be this piece glued to this piece. But I don't really have a setup to be able to do that good way.
Rockfan says, blame YouTube, they deserve it. Regina says the water is escaping.
It's like just barely, it's like legitimately sitting right there at the edge, and it's just this little puddle that's pooled over here. And if I leave it alone, it should be fine. So we're going to move on. Because we have our watery base, and then basically when that's completely dry, I can add this thicker stuff. Remember we used this with Ty's Purple Gorilla, and I can make doesn't move. I can use it to make like kind of little baby ripples and stuff like that if I want to. You know,
Rockfin says, I just fixed a broken sword on a mini with resin too. It's so useful.
Yes. Yes.
You're not talking about the resin like we use with our printers. You're talking about like the stuff we coat. Oh, UV resin and stuff like that.
UV resin would be better. That's what Rockvan used. Which also the resin looks really freaky under the UV light. It was really super. It was like glowy. I want to get out my leaves because I can have leaves floating in some of the water. I'm going to do that real quick. X marks the spot. No, specifically like UV resin would be a really great way to gap fill and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody, thinks about it, but I'm still a little afraid of UV resin, honestly. Probably shouldn't be, but I am. That's when all of this shit started. I was just showing Ty today that for the first time in about a year, I was able to use my thumbprint to unlock something. Because up until just recently, my thumbprint has been unrecognizable. Or any of my fingerprints have been unrecognizable.
Rockfan says yes, UV resin, and the minis have magic glowing veins under the light. That's cool.
It was super weird. Over there then. If I'd thought about it, I could have put some of this sand down well. It would look really cool, but I didn't, so it's fine.
Ghosty says, I've been thinking of buying some resin just for gap filling. I really, really struggle to make green stuff look good.
Yeah. That's why I like the other stuff. It's a little easier to work with than green stuff. But I don't really want to work with UV resin right.
I can't blame you.
For those of you who are potentially new to the channel, the reason I wear gloves to do everything and anything is because I chemically burned myself.
Almost a year ago. Right?
Yeah.
September, I think.
Yeah, it was in September. With UV resin, and so badly so that I actually ended up giving myself contact dermatitis or eczema. And it tore my hands up.
For a long time.
For a very long time.
Regina says, I'm so glad your fingers are better.
Yes. They're normal fingers again. I do, every now and again, my fingers feel like they're about to break back out again. And I have a steroid cream that I just keep here. And I put it on my hands at night, and I sleep with gloves, and I have lotion in every single room in the house, and I lotion my hands all the time. I have specialty soap in every single room of the house, and anytime I am doing anything with anything that is not food, I'm wearing gloves. Because I am not going through that again. It was miserable. And that's also why we have the rubber ducky of doom.
Yeah.
Because I was making the rubber ducky of doom when it happened. So, I have not touched UV resin since then, and I probably won't ever touch it. And honestly, it was 100% my fault. I remember during stream saying, hey guys, when you're working with resin, make sure to put gloves on just, to be on the safe side. I'm not going to wear gloves for this because I don't need to. I won't be touching anything, but you should wear gloves.
This is why it's self-advantageous to lead by example.
Yep. Kind of dipping a few of them in the stuff because it will basically act like glue. Putting them a few other places. I love my little leaves.
Rockfan says, yeah, UV resin, you need to be super careful. I moved my pins with a popsicle stick and toothpick to not touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I had a whole area cured, and then I had more underneath that I was not cured, and I didn't realize it. And when I pushed it down, it got on my hands. And at the same time, I already had some super glue on my hands. So the combination of them, it ruined my hands. They were like, it was so bad. It was wrecked. It was absolutely horrible. Okay. So now puddles have floating leaves. Some leaves on just the rocks themselves. So I'm going to say our base is already done.
Ooh.
Super quick. Right? Because it's not been like 2 hours, right?
No, it's been like,
Been an hour.
well, less than an hour.
All right. So that means Beastie Boy is coming over here.
It's been 50 minutes, but we didn't start till 10 minutes after, so it's only been 40 minutes.
So this is how he stands on his base. Kind of comes, he's leaning forward. Kind of hard to tell from that. That is him. So I think.
Rockfan says that's a pretty bass.
Yes, I love bass work. Honestly, it's my favorite part. I do it all the time where I'll spend like 10 minutes making a mini and then 20 minutes making the bass. I love working on the bass. Okay. I'm trying to decide where I'm going to start. I know what color I'm going to start with is my ghoul skin.
Gina says, love the bass.
I could do that all day, every day. And just make bases and set them off and done. He looks so pretty. Oh, my nose. Time to pick a brush. Really, I think I want that brush. So we're going to clean that.
Yeah, when you burned your fingers, we were still over there. We weren't even in here.
Yeah, I was still, it was.
Beard cam was just used to dance for bits.
Yes.
In my chair.
Yes, that is true.
we went a couple of streams like that where when people spent bits, I'd dance in the chair.
Yeah, I was sitting in, I wasn't even in this same room.
Yeah, I was in here over there. And you were kind of right next to me in the next room.
Yeah.
Rockfan says, all about the bass, no treble.
I love that song.
See, that's why I should read ahead. I would have read it, or sung it, rather.
I'll do it now.
No, it's too late. I've ruined it. I'll do it on the night.
Is the night. Nope, don't like this one.
Oh, I wonder if they can... Does anybody recognize that line? Because that's from a movie.
Go.
I'll do it on the night.
Picking a different...
No rewards or anything. I guess you'll get like 2 yellow stars and a blue one or something. Our point system tonight. Yellow and blue stars.
You know, I ought to make you start keeping track. And then when someone earns enough trivia points, we'll ship them a mystery box mini.
Yeah. So one of the things I'll talk about it on stream because I'm sure everybody's super interested. One of the things we've got coming up this year is that we're going to drop off of Streamlabs and go pure OBS before billing comes up again. Which means
my camera's in a different spot. I got to figure that out.
Which means I have to rebuild everything in OBS for this stream, right?
I didn't realize that.
And then we have the other thing that we're going to do soon. Won't let me talk about it.
Nope.
But I was thinking about that and that other thing. I thought, I got to rebuild this stuff anyway, considering bringing in both chats and showing them on the screen. What do you think of that? So Rockfan on YouTube would be showing up on the stream so that other people can see it while they're watching the stream.
Oh, because they can't see.
Right. Twitch can't see YouTube and vice versa, right?
Good noodle stars.
So yeah, Rockfan says all about the. Oh, never mind. I already read that one. Good noodle stars. I guess, are we talking about the
point system?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Good noodle stars. I said, I was probably talking funny, like the blue stars and the yellow stars. And Regina says, I would so lose at movie trivia. Yeah, well,
I think everyone would because we have.
We're bad at it. We're bad at,
I'm not.
doing it.
I'm really good at it, but I'm
not playing it.
No, yes, I
I'm
am
excellent at that.
We have very obscure lines from movies that we just say around the house. It's like just part of our conversation, and then we don't even always realize that we've picked it up from a movie. And then
Also, one line's too hard. I do that all the time. Yeah. So here's the new one. If anybody can figure this out, I'm going to give 3 lines real fast, but 2 different people talking, right? I'll do it on the night. It is the night. That's it. That's what I'll give.
I always
Ghosty says I'm good at research.
Golden, I always tell Ty that he's got very good Google foo.
Yeah. Well, that was from all those years of doing software development. Which is funny because when I started doing software development, mostly used books, and gaps were filled with online research. And now I don't know anybody who owns books. I mean, I do know people who own books, but that's like most of the time, if you're researching something at work, you're just on Google. Yeah. What do you think of that, Dawn? So,
no, I love that idea. So that basically everyone be able to see everyone's chat.
Yeah,
I like that.
I know I was saying that. Well, we may not go to YouTube live anymore, but the thing is there's plugins I can use. Actually, continue to do that. I mean, that's just what Streamlabs is using anyway.
Right.
They're just charging us for it. Yeah, we could put it right where Beard Cam goes. Do the chat there instead.
People would riot. They would miss their Beardman cam.
Oh. Ghosty says, book? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the term.
It's because you're 2. Not digging that brush. Which brush? See, this is where, this model is going to take 1.5 years.
Is that some kind of website? Ghosty asks. Regina says, use your librarian.
These little details that I really can't dry brush, so it takes time. Thin layers of paint so that it's not that fucking... Nope, don't like that brush either. I'm being picky again. Nothing's doing what I want it to do. I like that idea, by the way, of putting the chat all together.
Well, the other thing about it, I'm talking out of turn here because it's not like I went and looked at the tool that'll let me bring multiple stream chats in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Nightbot wouldn't want to hear this, but then I could write something. Just kind of does the way we do our drawings and stuff.
Yeah.
I could just write something myself. Hell, for all I know, somebody's already done it for this tool that I'm talking about. It's a plugin, rather. Then we could do contests across multiple streaming platforms.
I like that.
I know I've seen other people do it, and I assume that they wrote something, but maybe not. I don't know why Nightbot doesn't.
That I could not. Ooh. Here's a very good reason to paint him without his wings attached. I don't like having to color mix and color match on a paint. I prefer to have him completely assembled. Damn, he's hard to hold.
Ghosty says, guys, I just used up all the luck for the rest of my life. I dropped a super, super tiny piece and actually found it. I feel that way every other day. Because
Yes.
I got my big fat fingers and I'm stripping parts from the supports. And usually it's what happens is something like, I don't even realize that there's like a little tiny arm right next to a big leg or something. And pop, it goes flying through the air and I'm like, ah! Rockfan says, random question. Do you find bigger or smaller minis easier to paint?
Bigger. 100% bigger. I can get through a little mini pretty quickly. I just painted a
Warforged?
Warforge.
Did you guys see it? You shared pictures of that in Discord, right?
Yes. I just
love it so much.
painted a Warforge, and I sat down, got him base coated, assembled, base painted, and then got him all painted. Sat back and stared at him for a little while, then decided to add this or add that little detail here or there, and then was finished. I'm like, holy crap, that was fast. It was only about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I had him done. But I prefer monsters over characters. The Warforge wasn't bad at all because it's not human. But I absolutely love painting monsters. And I find it easier to paint the larger items. Now, that all being said, what I really like is to paint a monster that I can print in one solid print. Then there's no assembly. But I enjoy monsters more than I enjoy character models. But I can get through a character model pretty quickly.
Ghosty says, I actually find it easier to paint smaller, mainly because I don't have to worry as much about minis feeling flat, but bigger minis need more work.
I get that.
I was going to say, you don't have any thoughts on that?
No. I was marinating on it. I was looking at the details I was doing while I was... I understand that thought, but for me, it's almost the exact opposite of, because a bigger mini has so much more area and it's got all of its details show really well, that I don't know, it just seems like I do less effort to make it look cool because it's just really freaking cool. Whereas like a tiny miniature, I feel like I'm spending 95% of my time just trying to make sure you notice that cowboy's hat has rivets on it, you know? That's kind of my feeling for it.
Regina says, I like no assembly.
Yes. Yeah, we're right there. I much prefer ones that I don't have to assemble. Unfortunately, not being a sculptor and just being a licensed print vendor, that is something that I don't always have control over. Even so, like I've even reached out to some of the sculptors and I'm like, look, I would love to print this in one solid piece. And I get the full model and they're like, we don't have it. I'm like, how do you not have it? Save it before you cut it the fuck up. Move.
Ghosty says, here's where I stand by the fact that Gregory is the perfect mini. Prints in one solid piece, small enough that he doesn't need too much paint, but big enough that He's fun to paint. He's cute, but also scary. Gregory is perfect.
Yes. Yeah, Gregory would be a great example. So like 75 mil base or 50 mil base, those are kind of my two favorite-ish areas. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is 6 inches long by 4 inches wide. So that's 100 mil wide and what did I say 6 inches? So 150 mil long. Once you start hitting that 100 mil area base size, it usually means I'm going to be pushing it to print it as one solid piece. But then, like I said, having the larger model, I feel like I feel like I have to do less work to make sure that all of the amazing detail is brought out because it seems like it's just there. I'm having trouble remembering my camera's over here and not here now. So I apologize if you guys have seen nothing of what I'm doing. Really what I'm doing is shifting the mini and dropping the mini and shifting the mini and dropping the mini and then not doing anything. But I have had some pieces that are so big that it just almost seems insurmountable. Say that right. I got it close enough. You know what I mean. I don't know what you just said because I talked over you. I'm sorry.
Insurmountable?
Yes.
That's what you said.
I said it close, but I didn't say my hand is literally locked in. Like its wing has got my arm. It just seems like some pieces are so large that I just never get around to actually finishing them. Cthulhu was that way. He was so intimidating, so big, so intimidating that I was terrified, honestly, to even print him. And then I finally printed him. Like, okay, that's not so bad. And then I printed him again. Like, okay, that's not so bad. And I printed him by the fourth time. I was like, yeah, this is nothing. Now I feel like if I paint him again, I'm out of ideas to keep him, looking different every time. Because that's something that I struggle with is, like, I was looking at a picture of somebody's army that they painted. And I'm like, every single one of these is identical. I'm like, how the hell do you even do that? Even painting something side by side by side, they would not look identical like this. I'm like, did you take a picture and Photoshop him next to each other? I'm like, what the hell? It blows my mind when I see people's armies and they're all identical. I don't know how they do it. I really don't.
Ghosty says, super random but exciting thing with Jormungandr and Fenrir. I will have all but 2 legendary Norse monsters. I'm trying to get them all. You're
Pokemon.
Yes, like the Pokemon of Norse mythology.
Oh, which ones are you missing? And why doesn't Lord of the Brent have them?
Rockfan says, just dunk it in a bucket of gold and make it a limited gold edition. Works for Funko Pops. Regina says, but then he won an award. Who?
Cthulhu.
I don't know what Cthulhu won 2 awards. I'm asking who won 2. Oh, yours. I'm sorry. I totally wasn't listening to Dawn speak a moment ago. I'm trying to solve technical problems for our next iteration of the stream. Actually, I need to do 2 new, because about the time that we get off of Streamlabs, it's time to celebrate the greatest month of the year again.
Halloween
month. One day is not enough. It's Halloween month. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Is I'm bumping around like ways of solving these problems where maybe I don't have to write anything.
Like, I can't even make this arm look the same as that arm. Just following the bumps in the skin. Whether or not they look identical, I don't care. That's just not something that I'm good at doing. I don't know if I would say I'm not good at doing it. It's just not something that I try to make sure I'm doing, I guess is a better way of saying it. I was rereading the Dunkerman Gold because I'm like really kind of love that idea. I love the idea of making his base super realistic and then making him look like a statue. You're going to have to read that one from Golden.
Yep, sorry. Reading technical crap, like I said. Ghosty says, I've been looking for models that work, but can't find anything that feels right. One is... Oh, crap.
That's why I said you're going to have to.
Garmir, the Hellhound. He's a four-eyed hellhound, and Nidhogg, which is a massive serpent dragon. That sounds familiar. I think I've read about Nidhogg. Actually, I think Isabella and I were talking about on something she was writing or researching or something like that. Rockfan says, let's start a petition to make all of September and October Halloween month. I'm down. I mean, we pretty much do. I think it was the last week or two of September is when we started Halloween month this last year.
Yes. And I intend on bringing the crazy makeup back for Halloween month again.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I don't think I'm going to pull out the Snapchat, though. That's a pain.
The makeup did take me quite a bit longer because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't really wear makeup, so any makeup takes me a long time.
I could run the Snapchat filters for me, I guess, and I don't have to do makeup.
I'm going to put makeup on you too.
That's not very Viking. I can't wear the makeup.
You wear makeup like Viking battle scars and stuff like that.
No, I'm too good for scars. I have a beautiful face for Viking.
Oh, you dork.
For Halloween month, Nidhogg will be my dog. I will walk it around the neighborhood.
Talking about using Sir? Because he's a little fluffy butt?
I'll dress Sir up as a serpent dragon. Shit.
Chicken shit. Jackass would see his image in the mirror and freak out.
No, when the neighbors see him dressed up as Nidhogg, it will scare them, but I will say, he's on vacation, it's okay. I hate it when you guys dress up, Sir, but now I want to.
You never let me make him costumes.
Yeah, but now he'll be Viking dog.
See? He gets mad because, like, I'll put a sweater on, because he's a really fluffy dog. But he also is so fluffy that we have to get him shaved, especially, which is stupid, especially in the winter. We need to get him shaved because his coat catches all of the snow, and then he gets those little snowballs in his fur. And if he's out there for too long, like, I legitimately have to give him a bath to soak the snow out of his fur. So I try to keep him really short-haired in the winter, which means he's super cold So I put little sweaters on him, and Ty's like, stop putting clothes on the dog. He's out there shaking.
Ghosty says Nidhogg is pretty famous. He's the evil dragon that chews the roots of the world tree.
Jackass.
Sounds more like a cat. Chewing up the furniture. Scratching it up. Rockfan says, put makeup on the mini. Or is that what painting is?
That was one of the things that I really enjoyed about doing a bust, was I was able to do like actual makeup because she was large enough. And that's something that, like, there's a Goblin Queen bust that I want to paint. That I want to do like the war paint makeup sort of look. I'm like really looking forward to that when I eventually get around to it. I definitely enjoy painting busts, and I figured I was going to enjoy it, but I hadn't actually done it, and then I finally did one on stream, and I'm like, yep, I was right. I love it. Excuse me.
Ghosty says you got to dress up as a Viking and walk with a leash. Finrare, the wolf that devours the world. Yeah, I don't know if Sir can pull that off. He's more serpent looking.
He looks like a luck dragon. He really does.
He does. He looks like Falcor. Well, I guess a luck dragon is Falcor was white and Sir is a black dog, so a luck dragon. I never went that far into the mythology of the Never-Ending Story. Maybe he's an anti-luck dragon. I don't know. Falcor looks like I was thinking about this the other day. He looks like similar to what we're calling stem mammals on the plane on Kethar, because he looks like, oh, he's a mammal,
true,
but then he's got scales here.
Yeah.
They might be on his legs too. I don't know. The stem mammals on the plane have
yes.
scales going across the front of their front legs normally and across their chest. So Falcor is a stem mammal dragon dog.
Bob. Now I'm switching over to my big dry brush. Super lightly. I just want to highlight a few little areas. Then I'm going to go over into the red and use my mythical orange. Like, I'm literally, like, you can't see it. Okay, I've got my hand on his tail. I'm just holding my hand there because I'm like, he is not falling over. Kill him.
Rockfan says, what cats and dragons have in common? Father jerks, but we love them.
Yes.
Both are jerks. Oh, I said that wrong. It's both are jerks. Gotcha. Yeah. I like both. We won't have a cat, though. I noticed you just looked over at me. We're not doing the cat thing. Sir's too old.
I wasn't looking over for that reason.
Okay.
Looking over because I want a pet dragon.
Falcor's in the other room. We were just talking about that.
That's yours. That is definitely a daddy's boy. Not only loves him more, listens to him more, cuddles him more, which I know why. He hates being picked up and I pick him up. Because I want the cuddles, because there's such good cuddles.
Well, he loves me and I'm not always picking him up.
Yeah, you're like legitimately the only one in the house that just doesn't pick him up. And which is smart because he hates it. But he's the cuddles.
And when I
He's
have
so
to pick him up,
flippin'
he has no
cute.
problem coming to me. I mean, he does, obviously. He's like, oh, he'll come over and let me pick him up.
He doesn't like all to be picked up. Unless he's decided that something bad is about to happen, and then he's okay with it.
Or he really wants something like, or his bed is too tall.
Yeah,
So
he
they
can't jump
can
up.
pick him up and put him in bed.
So it's like super cute, right? When you're standing by Cora's bed, you can say hip, and he'll put 2 paws up on one arm, and then you say hop, and he'll hop to get up. And
He's
it's like,
smart for being an idiot.
This jump is not going to actually get you up there, but okay.
I read this one this time. Ghosty says, even better, Jormungandr, the serpent that wraps around the world. Just like, kind of like hearing Ty say Jormungandr.
And these are all the reasons that if Ty's not here, things won't be read out loud. Because where is that word?
Right here?
Oh, yeah, no. I wasn't going to. Oh, and that was just like, I was telling Ty, Ghosty, about that one, saying, I can't believe we didn't have this one already. And he's like, which one? I'm like, this one that I'm pointing at. And he's like, which one? I'm like, the name right there that I absolutely cannot read. That one. He's like, oh. And then he said it. And I'm like, cool. Even though he's already said it like twice now, I still can't say it.
I'm probably saying it wrong. Rockfan. Yeah, hello, Sawdust.
Hi, Sawdust.
Rockfan says, sorry, table keyboard sucks. Sawdust Dragon says, hey, y'all.
Hellos. And no worries, Rock fan.
Oh, yeah, it's mostly me anyway.
So, anywho. Man, these wings are... I can show you. Let's do that. Right now, you got a good... You kind of have a good angle of the ickiness over here. So, I'm not going to use this because this is air dry clay. And, I mean, not air dry clay, it's baking clay. So I would have to shape it, take it off, bake it, and then it shrinks quite a bit. And because of the way the shape is, it wouldn't really go really well. So what I want to do is, I'm going to use this. I was using this to help prop his feet up earlier. That's why it was over here. But what I'm going to end up using is the stuff that I should have used to gap fill could also be used to sculpt with. And that's what I'll end up using. Basically.
It says, act bad internet. Oh, the stutters. Yeah, I think we've been talking about that a little bit this evening, where some of that may be us today, which is weird, but having some download issues.
So this is the sort of thing I'm going to end up doing. I'm not pressing it down really well right now because I want to be able to take it off again. But I'll make a mound kind of like that. And then just make holes all in it. Really, really close together. Oh, and you
Really
cannot
hard
see
to see that
at
light.
all.
I wonder if I'll
bring it up higher too. Maybe that'll help. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. So basically, I'm going to take and make holes. This whole thing will be painted brown, and then I'll put like green goo coming out of the holes, and then that's the infested part of him. But like I said, I don't want to use this clay because it won't work as well as using the other molding stuff. Because I'll be able to, that other stuff, I'll be able to push it onto here really, really well. Probably shouldn't have done this because now it's all white.
It's kind of sticky in it.
I'll be able to push it on here and then it can cure while it's on here. So I won't have to push it on and take it off, push it on and take it off. But right here doesn't really matter because this is where that other thing is going to go anyway. So
You're just marking your spot.
I'm marking my spot, yeah. So that's how we're going to fix it looking nasty, is we're going to make it look nasty. So there we go. But I have to get all the rest of the stuff painted before I can do that stuff. That's probably what I'll mainly be working on tomorrow, is getting all that stuff on there while we're world building and talking about...
Oh.
You're such a dork.
I heard world building.
Yes. Have you come up with a thought process, kind of, maybe you want to talk about, insert random thing here?
Ghosty says, okay, I just want to see how you'll approach this. Yggdrasil, isn't it? The world tree. At least we say Yggdrasil in English, right?
Oh, fucker.
Or is it Yggdrasil? I don't remember now. Now I'm convincing myself it's Yggdrasil. Sutta says, can you paint those wings with a nice garlic and herb paint? Ghosty says, I've pronounced that one wrong for a very, very long time.
Sawdust, you could, but that would attract ants. Not a good idea.
Can you use margarine then? Because that doesn't attract ants. Yeah, I said Yggdrasil the first time, but I think it's Yggdrasil. Or I should just look it up.
You know, Rockfan, earlier you asked if I prefer larger or smaller minis. Which one do you prefer? Meant to ask that after and I forgot. Because I got sidetracked. Big surprise there, right? I'm always that person that somebody asks, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, good. I'm off to the next thing. Not trying to be rude. I just don't always think.
So the Y in Yggdrasil is pronounced like an I. So it wasn't, I was wrong when I said Yggdrasil too, because the G's are in. So I think it's like Yggdrasil. Here we go. Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil. There's like little nuances to this pronunciation, I think. Yggdrasil.
I don't think I'm going to get that one.
Oh, I'm sure it's much easier, you know, if you speak.
All right. Now we're on to the fun color. Mythical lore. Stop being stupid.
Oh, see that you'll like this because you like the South African accent.
Oh, I love the South African accent.
So the first part, the YGG is pronounced the same way that they say egg. So egg. Hey man, you got me some eggs? Would like some eggs for breakfast?
Hey, don't do that again. You are lucky I was over here on my pallet. I will kick your little ass.
So, I failed several times, but then I looked it up. It's Yggdrasil.
Details. Tiny, tiny little details. Means I get quiet. I apologize. These aren't even really all that tiny. Trying to get in where all of his veins are and his flail or whatever you call that. It's going to be interesting to say the least. What are you oohing about over there?
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil. I just had Google say it for us.
Yggdrasil.
I feel like that's cheating. You guys think that's cheating?
Why is it cheating? I went and
Because
looked it up.
Because we want to hear you say it.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Ghosty.
What?
There's no friggin' way you were almost perfect. It's because I'm a little bit Viking. That's usually my excuse for when I don't want to do something. Like Cora was sitting when Jake was here. Cora was like, "Dad, you should do like a bun. Do like a bun on your head." I'm like, "No, that's not Viking enough for me. It's not very Viking." Which is probably wrong. Vikings probably had buns too. I'm gonna go with the ponytail bun or ponytail Viking though. And
Yggdrasil.
Rock fan said, "I just started, so I feel bigger is easier at the moment."
I mean, Ghosty did have a point. Big does take quite a bit of paint.
Oh. Hello, Gareth.
Hi, Gareth. Jackamarass.
Ghosty says, "I always pronounced it Yggdrasil or Yggdrasil, but this is very wrong. It's Yggdrasil." Yeah. Gareth says, "Hi, finally on a bus in Chicago. Holy moly." Rockman says, "Also small is harder to look at after staring at Excel sheets for 8 hours at work." Yeah. What you used to do.
I still do it.
Yeah, that's true. Mainly for me, Excel is a tool to make lists with. But Dawn, having been an accountant,
I hate it when he says that.
and an Excel expert, is like crazy good with Excel. Sawdust says, "Nice, Ghosty. I would never have figured that one out." Gare says, "It's looking great."
Thank you, thank you. I had all kind of kerfuffles when it came to assembly. So he's going to look nasty on purpose. Fix it. I think that's probably what I'll mainly be doing tomorrow while we're world building, is making his bug sacks. For lack of a better way of naming them.
Yggdrasil.
Would you stop it?
It's pretty much the same, except the Swedish voice one is got an accent.
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil.
Such a dork. I have a little fuzzy on my paintbrush, so I'm cutting it.
Oh, Ghosty says, Sawdust, I spent a lot more time researching Norse stuff than I'd like to admit. No, I think it's great. I know I've talked about Time Team on here before. For anybody interested in history, Viking history, Time Team has done some awesome digs for Viking archaeological sites. And that's what Time Team is they're archaeologists that, their whole shtick was got 3 days, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that they will try to work on a site and get as many answers as they can. And a lot of times they, in 3 days, made these huge findings that changed British archaeology. I think they found the largest Roman site in the United Kingdom. I think that was like one of the things. It was huge. It was enormous. They came back. They did it on 2 different digs, actually, over 2 different seasons. Came back to it a second time and realized it was even bigger. But yeah, I love Time Team. They tried to do it in the States, but I don't think they quite got the recipe right.
Yeah.
It's an okay show. It's just
We're missing.
They were missing more than that. I mean, that was a good combination of Bill and Tony.
Tony's awesome.
And Tony's very charismatic. Tony was I can't remember his character's name. And for anybody that watched Blackadder, he was the sort of little dunce helper guy. So he was an actor that's already well known in Britain, who was on the show. And Mitch, he was kind of like the leader of the whole thing, the lead archaeologist. It's a great show. Oh, Gareth says my connection is laggy as hell, so I'm going to go, but I'll catch you guys later. Yeah, we understand. I think everybody's having a little bit of lag tonight too, so safe travels. Yeah, still all grainy and
Maybe I'm
which
just
looks
grainy.
okay. It's a little duller than usual, but definitely looks better than us, which is why I'm thinking that it's our download that's messing up everybody else's delay and sounds and stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed this one earlier. Rockman had said it's like bigger is easier. Also small is harder to look at after. Oh, I did read that. It was about how we started on the Excel thing. I get for window swapping, eh?
Ugh, fuzzies. Can I get a time check?
10 after 8.
I think we might call it a little early tonight.
Okay. This is what you're working on tomorrow as well?
Tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Because I'm approaching that time where I would really prefer to have him on his base and also have the sacks kind of done before I really start getting into what else needs to be done, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Gotcha.